Hey everyone, I am Nick and welcome to my review for the 75433, the Jango Fett Starship, also known as the Slave 1. And now this set came out in August 1st, 2025 for a retail price of $70 American, and for us Canadian folks, 90 Canadian dollars. So is this set really worth your 70 to 90 bucks? Well, watch the rest of this review to find out. But before we hop right into the actual set itself, I want to take a look at the box art that it shows us, the piece count, the minifigures that we get into. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right in. Taking a look at the front of the box here, we get to see the Jango Fett Slave 1 flying away from Geonosis and into the asteroid field. And now we could only assume that Obi-Wan Kenobi is chasing after Jango Fett and Boba Fett in this scene. But for some reason, LEGO wanted to advertise this set as a Clone Wars set, having that 332nd Trooper on the bottom left corner. Now, this makes no sense at all because a couple years ago, when they did the Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Starfighter, it had a Darth Vader on the bottom left corner, indicating that it's from Attack of the Clones. Now, why is LEGO advertising this set as a Clone Wars set? We will never know. Taking a look at the back of the box, we get to see the Slave 1 in its landing position, and then we see the minifigures just walking around the hangar bay as well. And to the right of them, we get to see this little cart thing that could also be used as a display stand for your Slave 1. And it shows you on the top right corner as well. But to the left of it showing you how to display your set, it shows you the Cymic charges that you could place in the Slave 1 and release them when you're flying the ship around. So that is a cool play feature I am ready to get into. Now taking a look at the specs that they show us, well, this set is a 9+ set. The set number is 75433, and you get a total of 707 pieces, which is like 10 cents for a piece, which most of you guys will think it is pretty good. But if we go to the bottom right corner, we get to see 3 minifigures in the set, being young Boba Fett, Jango Fett, and Lama Su. And now time for the unboxing experience for the Jango Fett Slave 1. And now it's very easy to get inside of the box here. What LEGO wants you to do is go to the back of the box and press on the thumb tabs. If you know me and you watch any of my reviews, you know I do not like using the thumb tabs. I personally don't think they work at all. What I like to do is just flip the box over on its stomach and just grab a pair of scissors, a knife, or a razor blade and just cut around the box as I'm doing right now. And then once you do that, you get to open the box up, and this is the fun part here, you get to dump all of the bags onto the table. After dumping all of the bags onto the table here, we are greeted with 6 numbered bags, 1 manual, and 1 small sticker sheet. You guys know how I feel about sticker sheets, but it is a small one, so I am going to let this one slide. LEGO, for next time, please print the pieces. But anyways, guys, for watching my review, if you guys want to scan the QR code to get your free 20 points for watching my review. After adding all of the bags together, we are greeted with the Jango Fett Slave 1. And you could tell right away that this version of the Slave 1 is more upgraded than the set that we got a couple years ago, being the Boba Fett Slave 1. And I will say this is not going to be a comparison video. There will be a comparison on my channel after this video releases on the two sets to see what is different and what is not different between the two. But this is a Jango Fett Slave 1 review, so let's go over all of the details, the play features this set has, and of course the minifigures. Starting off with the first minifigure in the set being young Boba Fett. And LEGO, what did you do to this minifigure? It is horrible. Like, horrible. I've never seen a minifigure so bad in my life before, but let's just talk about it real quick. Starting off with the wrong color arms. They're not the right color at all. What LEGO has done is made them a ashy blue color, more grayish blue, but in universe they're like a dark blue or dark bluish purple. And well, Lego decided to go, you know what? No, we're not doing that. We're going to make them a blue gray and it looks horrible. And not to mention the torso and leg color are like way too bright of a blue. Like it looks really weird when I'm looking at it. It's just like it's too bright. It needs to be a little bit darker. If they just tone down the shading just a little bit more to make it a little bit dark, it would look, I mean, it would look good, but not fantastic. And not to mention, his belt's the wrong color and it's way too thick, what they show in the movies and all that. So, Lego, I don't know what you're doing, what your thought process around this minifigure was. I think it was somewhere around like, let's make the worst minifigure ever. And well, came young Boba Fett, and well, let me tell you guys something. You did a fantastic job making it the worst minifigure ever. And not to mention, no dual molded legs to show his boots. What is that? Like, there's so many things wrong with this minifigure. Like, his hairpiece as well is pretty bad. I mean, at least he has a second face print. That's the one good thing that they did with this minifigure. But you know what? I don't even want to talk about this minifigure really because it's not a good minifigure. The next minifigure that we're going to be taking a look at is Jango Fett himself. And I'm hearing a lot of people saying that this minifigure for this set is horrible. And you know what? I don't believe that whatsoever. The Boba Fett, yes, he is a bad minifigure. But the Jango Fett, I think he's a pretty good minifigure. He has great torso print. He has a great leg print. He even has toe printing. His back printing is okay. You don't see it often because he will be having his jetpack on. And now, the main reason why people are calling this minifigure trash is that he doesn't have arm printing. But you know what? For a playset, I don't really care if it doesn't come with arm printing. Yes, I would like it to have arm printing, but I think that's where the UCS set comes into play. If you want that premium minifigure, if you want to have that arm printing on your Jango Fett Slave 1, either buy the UCS version of the Jango Fett Slave 1 or buy the minifigure on the secondary market. Now, even though this minifigure doesn't have arm printing, it doesn't take away from the value of this minifigure. It's still a pretty good minifigure. His helmet piece is good. We get a new visor piece in the set which look incredible. You take off his helmet, he has two different face prints, one of them being an angry look, probably trying to get away from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then the other face is just a more relaxed look. So all around, this minifigure is pretty good. I just don't get what people are saying that this minifigure is trash. Saving the best minifigure for the end here being Lama Su, and I'm just going to say right here, I feel majority of the people that are picking up the Jango Fett Slave 1 are just picking up this set to get this minifigure, because don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic minifigure, but not just that, it's our second Kaminoan that we have ever gotten in LEGO Star Wars. Obviously, the first one that we got was Taun We back when the Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi Starfighter came out. But I was a little scared when I did hear rumors that Lama Su was going to make an appearance in the set. I thought they would use the same headpiece that Taun We had and just make it a different color. But you know what? That's not the case, and LEGO delivered in making a new mold for this minifigure, and I'm absolutely in love with this minifigure. Like I said, it's the best in the set. Not just because of the head mold, but the printing for this minifigure as well. The torso printing, the back printing, and the leg printing is fantastic. The only little problem that I have with this minifigure, and it's not even a big problem at all, is the little white strip on the legs here is just a little bit darker compared to the rest of the white on the minifigure. But you know what? That doesn't take any value away from the minifigure because it's barely noticeable. You really have to look at the minifigure to notice that detail. But besides that, this minifigure is insane. It's so good, and I'm surprised that LEGO made it this good. Now let's talk about the Slave 1 itself, and like I said before, this is a dramatic change compared to the one that we got a couple years ago, being the Boba Fett Slave 1. Well, it's not a dramatic change, but it is upgraded, and you could tell how the building technique for this set has changed. But I do want to go into all of the play features and detail this set has to offer us, so why not start with the play features and then hop into the detail. The first play feature that I do want to take a look at is the seismic charges that you get in the set, and you get a total of 2 of them. Believe it or not, you could actually fit both of them inside the Slave 1, and it is a little bit tricky to get both of them in. It is a little bit tight in there, but I do give props to LEGO to actually adding this play feature because it does look like it was a difficult one to add to make it the best possible way they could. And you know what? It works 100%. So what you want to do is you want to lift the carbonite chamber for at least the Boba Fett Slave 1. And once you lift it up, you could put the 2 seismic charges in or just one, and then you want to push the little button on the bottom of it that moves in and out, and it will open up a trapdoor on the back of the Slave 1 and to release the seismic charges at Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter. And if you guys want to see the play feature in action, this is what it looks like. But I did notice you will have to tilt the Slave 1 just a little bit to make the seismic charges fall out of the ship. Moving away from the seismic charges and onto the bottom of the tail for the Slave 1, we get 4 stud shooters. And if you guys remember in the Boba Fett Slave 1, the bottom of the tail were actually brick built shooters. So you could move them around to whatever position you would like. But this time you're not allowed to do that because, well, they're stud shooters instead. But one thing that I did notice that LEGO did a switcheroo. At the top of the Slave 1, you have brick-built shooters, and at the bottom here, you have stud shooters. And for the Boba Fett version, you have stud shooters at the top and brick-built versions on the bottom of the tail. Now, which version do I like more? Obviously, I like Boba Fett Slave 1 more because, well, you have more playability that way. I just don't see it being very much fun having the stud shooters set in stone and not be able to move whatsoever, and all you could do is fire them. Yes, I get that's the play feature for the set, but I think it would work better the other way around. Now, don't get me wrong, it still looks pretty good. Like, I'm surprised that these stud shooters actually make the Slave 1 look pretty good. But besides that, I just wish that LEGO just kept it like the Boba Fett version. Another play feature that I do want to talk about is the rotating wings. And now they don't really rotate when you lift this set up. You have to manually do it. But I like that the fact that LEGO didn't make them just stiff and you can't move them at all. You can move them 360 degrees and they will both move at the same time. So it doesn't matter what wing you are moving. Both of them will move. The last play feature I do want to take a look at is at the back of the Slave 1, being the handle. And the Boba Fett Slave 1 had the same treatment, adding the handle in the back of the ship. Now, it didn't really need to be added, but LEGO went the extra mile and added it anyways, and you love to see that. This set is so sturdy that you can hold it by any part of the ship and it will not break. So seeing that there is a handle, it's very convenient, and you, like I said, love to see it. One thing that I really do appreciate about the Slave 1 right here is the building techniques LEGO has used to make the set come alive. My favorite part is probably how they made these slope pieces make like an oval shape at the bottom and top of the ship. If you put the Boba Fett and the Jango Fett version right beside each other, you can tell that difference on how it is built. And you know what? I do prefer the Jango Fett's version way more than the Boba, because I feel like the Jango Fett version is just more flushed out and more rounded, giving it that curvature that you don't see often in LEGO sets, which we could all appreciate. And another thing that I really do like about the Jango Fett version is that they kept the tail of the Slave 1 on an angle as well, which you love to see. I did not expect them to actually make it an angle. I thought it would be just straight, but you know what? They made it work and it looks incredible. Another thing that I could really appreciate about the Slave One here, and same with the Boba Fett Slave One, is that they're both very stable, meaning you could grab it by any point of the set and it will not fall apart. Maybe the tip of the wings, but who would grab it from there? But majority people will be probably grabbing it from the tail, and it's very sturdy. I mean, it's a little bit shaky, but besides that, it's not that bad at all. It's not going to just fall apart just picking it up from the tail, especially over time. I don't see it just breaking apart. So, Lego, congratulations on that one. After talking about the Slave One, where do the minifigures go? Obviously, they go into the Slave One. Young Boba Fett and Jango Fett both go into the cockpit of the ship, and you know what? They fit like a glove. It's a little bit tight, but not too tight where you're going to be messing around and having a hard time and breaking pieces or knocking pieces off of the set. They fit like a glove, and you love to see that. But where does Lama Su go? Well, he goes into the cart, and there is a crate on the cart that I do want to talk about. Now, the cart has a crate, and you would expect you could fit Jango Fett's hairpiece. No, you can't. How about his blasters? Nope. The Cymic charges? Nope. You cannot fit anything in this crate. So why is it even on the stand, I guess? We will never know. Lego, why did you add that? It makes no sense. Maybe just for display or design? Even though we have no idea what the crate is used for, the cart is used for to be a display stand for the Jango Fett Slave 1. And I will say I love this upgrade compared to the Boba Fett one because this one is just way more sturdy. To put it on, all you guys need to do is just slide it in and it will click right in place, and you love to see that. No fidgeting with it whatsoever, it just slides right in, and that's so good. I love to see that. Now that we got the stand holding up the Jango Fett Slave 1, we could take a look at the engines and how they look. And you could tell right away that this is a massive upgrade compared to the Boba Fett Slave 1, which you love to see. I think how they built it is the best that they could, considering it is an upgrade. It works for me and it looks really good. It is that time in the video where I am going to be giving the Jango Fett Slave 1 a swooshability test. And now if you have no idea what I mean by a swooshability test, what I like to do with my LEGO Star Wars ships is I like to give them an annual swooshability test, fly them around the room a bit to see if it will break, shatter, pieces will fall off, or if it has some rattling to it, to see if it's able to be swooshed around the room like it's supposed to, considering it's a playset. And now, as a kid, I used to love flying my LEGO Star Wars ships around the room, so let's not waste any more time and let's give it that annual swooshability test. And now LEGO added a handle for this set, so we're going to be using it and see how well it does. 3, 2, 1. And like I said, I think it's very sturdy of a set. Like, there's nothing rattling at all. The handle works amazing as well. Like, the only problem that I have is that even though you're holding it with the handle, and when you go to swoosh it around, the bricks do kind of hurt your finger, but that just might be an adult problem. My fingers might be just too big for this set and it just scrapes and it hurts. But besides that, it's pretty good. Like, it's not shaking at all. Even the minifigures inside are not rattling, and you love to see that. So Lego made this set very sturdy, and you love to see it. Anyways, guys, that will be my review for the 75433, the Jango Fett StarShip, also known as the Slave 1. Now, is this set really worth your $70 to $90? My opinion, not really. I really think you guys should wait for a sale for this set. I feel like LEGO's just trying to get an extra buck out of you, considering the fact that a couple years ago the Boba Fett Slave 1 was cheaper than this set, even though this set has 100 more pieces. Like I said, I think LEGO's just trying to get a quick buck out of you, so I would definitely wait for a sale. And now, does that mean the set is bad? Not at all. This set is great. It's very sturdy, it's very well built, it's like its source material, and I think LEGO did a fantastic job on this set. So what will I rate it out of 10? For playability, I will rate it a 10 out of 10. As a kid, I would have loved this set, flying it around my room and just having it in that landing position or even on the stand. It looks fantastic. But for display purposes, what will I rate it? I think I will rate it an 8.5 just because there are some things that I don't really like the stud shooters and that's about it. But if they fix the stud shooters, oh, and if they fix the wiggly tail, then it would be perfect. It would be 100%. But, nothing could be really 100%. So I'll give it you know what? I'll raise it up to a 9 out of 10 because I really like this set and I think a lot of people could agree with me there. But if you guys want to see more videos like this, just hit one of the end card screen coming up. And if you guys want to do me a favor and help the channel grow, all you guys need to do is hit that like button, comment on the video what's your favorite part about this set, and obviously subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. I am trying to reach my goal to 2,500 subscribers, and right now we're at 2,255, and I just want to say to all of those people that's been helping me grow, thank you guys so much. But I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a good one. Peace out.